Hey, welcome. In this video, we will review how to build a switch box so we can pick any choices from it. The applications of this, of course, can be unlimited, but we're going to use it in a specific and very practical case, which is building scenarios. In any financial model in Excel, one of the main reasons to do that is to forecast outcomes. And this forecasting, of course, involves uncertainty. Once we have uncertainty, it's very likely to use scenarios so we can analyze the usual expected optimistic and pessimistic cases. There can be more than three, but three are the usual scenarios that are used. So let's assume this is inflation. It could be any critical variable that you want to use as input for your scenario. And what you don't want to do is to have a separate worksheet for every scenario, a different worksheet for this, and for this. That makes it very messy, very long. And if someone who is only reviewing the model and they didn't do the model, they're going to find this very awkward and probably very likely to find mistakes. So what in financial modeling practice, best practices, is very common to use this tool and then just feed the picked scenario to your model. So that's what we will do here. First, let's use the data validation list, and then we will use a method which is called the combo box, which I think is more efficient, more elegant, more powerful, as we will see. So let's do first the one that likely most people use and know, which is the data validation method. So to do this, we will pick and place our drop down in cell B8. So let's go to data, then to data validation. And then we will pick the list option here. And we're going in the source window, we will place the three scenario words and click OK. So right there, you can see this little arrow here, this button, which once you click on it, you're going to have the three available scenarios. And Excel is going to actually fill in the text, a word, not a number, but the word itself, optimistic, pessimistic, and so on. So once you have this, now you will have to use a if statement here so we can compare what scenario is being picked. So let's say this is if, and then we will compare to whatever we find on this cell here, B8, and right away I will fix it. I will fix it because once I copy to the right, I don't want this cell to move. I want B8 to stay in that reference. Then what happens if I want to compare to the first option, which is expected? If the word is expected, I want Excel to pick the first value, which is on cell D12. Now, since I have more than two options, I have to do another if, so we can differentiate between the second and the third option. So I need to do a new if, a nested if. Now I want to reference the same B8 cell. I want to fix it. And now I will test the second option, which is optimistic. If it's optimistic and it's true, then I want to pick the second option here. And of course, if it's not expected and it's not optimistic, the only other choice is pessimistic. So I don't need to test anything else, just put the last value here, and I will close down all the parentheses. Let's see if it's working. Optimistic, expected, pessimistic. It seems to be working right. So once I do that, I can copy to the right, control right arrow, and then control R. That will copy to the right with a shortcut. And right there, we have our first way of doing the scenario. And then, of course, this will feed our model. Whatever we're doing in our model, this will be fed into our model. Now, let's go to the second option, which is doing a combo box. To do this, first, you need to be sure that you have your developer tab activated. If you don't see it on your Excel, you need to go to File, then Options, and then Customize Ribbon, and then look for Developer here. If you don't have it activated, it will look like this. Just check on it, and now you should have it here. Once you have your developer tab, go to Insert, and in the first group, Form Controls, pick the second one, the one that says Combo Box. Once you click on it, you will get a box like this, like if you were using Paint or other drawing software. You can move around and just let go whatever you want. You can fix this later if it's not the right size, but just let go, and you will see right away this little window. Do a right click on your mouse, go to Format Control, and then the input range is going to be the options, in this case, the scenario choices. And the cell link is going to be the reference link, which is in this case is K8. And right there, you have your combo box. Now, what I'll do is, again, just see if this is working. Now, unlike the data validation option where you had a text input in your cell, in this, Excel is going to fill in a number. You can see here, Excel is using 1, 2, and 3 in the background. So if I pick expected, Excel is going to generate a number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm not doing this. I mean, I'm not doing the input of the number. Excel is generated the 1, 2, and 3. So what I want to do is I want to eventually move this and put it on top of here. The reason for this is because if someone else is using this model or reviewing it, they don't know what 1, 2, or 3 means. They don't necessarily know that 1 is expected, 2 is optimistic, and 3 is pessimistic. Unlike in this case that it was obvious because the word is here. But in this case, once I pick a option here, I know that in the back, there's a number 1. So what I want to do is in this cell here, I'm going to say choose. What's my index number? I know it's on cell K8, and I'm going to fix it for the same reason that I did on the other one. And then I have 3 values, 1, 2, and 3. All I need to do is tell Excel if there's a number 1 here on the back, which value should you pick? So I want, in that case, I want to pick M12. If it's a number 2, pick this one. And if it's a number 3, pick this one. So right there, I have my switch box working. I want to just check on it. Let's see if it's working right. Pessimistic, okay. Once I check that it's working fine, I can copy to right. Again, shift right arrow, and then control right. It will copy to the right. And there you have it. Now you have your switch box. Both of them should work the same. However, the reason I prefer this one is because, as you probably noticed, if I place my cursor here in this cell, I can see this option here. But once I move out, this goes away, it disappears. Unlike here, it doesn't matter where you are, you will always see the combo box here. So the reason is I prefer this one is because if someone is using the model, or even yourselves or someone else, it's obvious that over here you have a switch, but it's not as obvious here. So that's one of the tipping points to probably make your choice on this side. And also, if you want to print this, if you want to print this model, either PDF or in paper, you can see here that in the same way, I cannot see the option here to pick a scenario, but in here I can. So whoever is reviewing the model, or if you want to send it to the board or the director or your boss, whoever, it's much cleaner and logical to see the box here. So in general, that's either way, of course, it's going to work. Either way is going to work fine and fit your model. But I think the combo box is going to be a somewhat better option because of this. So I hope this video was useful for you. You can apply it a lot in whatever you do. Best luck on that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.